It is the 30th of March, 2023. We are almost done with this month. And I am ready for spring. Ready to get outside, do some things, be outside, just enjoy spring. But then comes summer. And summer can get really hot and humid. Then I'm looking forward to fall and the cooler temperatures. But then after fall, winter again. And man, these years just go by faster and faster. And the time through the years go faster and faster. But it's beautiful outside today. It's sunny. I wish I could go outside and work. I'm just live listening to calls today and monitor my class. So maybe I'll go sit out on the back porch today. Right. I know. Yeah, I won't. I'd be too distracted by everything going around to do that. But it is a beautiful day. I will be going outside occasionally, especially on my lunch break. Maybe even take a drive. Get an hour lunch. So, yeah, it is Thursday. And we have 2 more fruits of the Spirit to go through or this week. And that's it. We'll be done with the fruits of the Spirit. And next week, we're going to look at some things with Passion Week. They call it Passion Week. It's the week of Christ's representation of Christ's crucifixion, his death, his burial, and then his resurrection. So I'm going to be looking at some things there. And just go with it. We'll just go with whatever the Lord leads us. So Galatians 5 today, where this is piggybacking off of Philippians. So this is a reminder why we're in Galatians 5, talking about the fruits of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit, not the fruits, but the fruit of the Spirit. Philippians 1, verses 9 and 10 and 11. And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment, that you may approve things that are excellent, that you may be sincere and without offense until the day of Christ, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are by Jesus Christ, unto the glory and praise of God. You see, there are some fruits that we bear because of Christ being in us, or at least should bear. Not all Christians bear fruit. They really don't. That's a common misconception. There's a lot of Christians out there that you don't even know that they're actually saved. What they're doing is having the works of the flesh and the fruit of the flesh manifesting. Doesn't mean they're not saved. It just means they're not in the will of God. They're backslid. That's why Paul says back here in Galatians 5, when it comes to the fruits of the Spirit, before he gets to the fruit of the Spirit, he says here, verse 16 of Galatians 5, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. You have the fruit of the Spirit and the lust of the flesh. These two are battling against each other. There's a battle, internal and external battle for you in your walk with Christ after salvation. And he went on to describe the work of the flesh. And then he gets into verse 22, the fruit of the Spirit. But the fruit of the Spirit, that's the Spirit of God lives inside of us, is love, joy, peace. Those are inward feelings and emotions we have on the inside. Long-suffering, gentleness, goodness. These are things that should manifest as a Christian. These should be manifesting outwardly. And then we look at the 3 that are Godward and God-related. We have faith. Faith is a belief. It's believing in something that you can't see. You have to have faith in God and with God continuously in your life. As a Christian, you have to have faith that he has your best interests at hand. Now here, the last 2 are meekness and temperance. Meekness and temperance, but meekness, this is very important for a Christian to have. Meekness is humility, humbleness. I'm going to read you the Webster's definition, Webster's 1828 dictionary definition. Now, this isn't biblical, but this is just a definition. In an evangelical sense, humility, resignation, submission to the divine will, without murmuring or peevishness. I don't really remember what peevishness is. I do, but I don't. But it has to do with pride, peevishness. Opposed to pride, arrogance, and refractoriness. arrogance and pride and murmuring. Meekness before God. This means you're not complaining to God. God, what are you doing this for? You're meek, you're humble. You're humble to him. You're humble, but you're also obedient to him. You're submissive to his will. And meekness for a Christian is vital. Meekness towards God for a Christian is vital for your daily walk. It's important that you have a meek attitude towards God. God is way up here, and we're way down here in front of God. And as a reminder, that's why Satan got himself kicked out of heaven. He didn't stay in his lane. He didn't know his role. I mean, he knew his role, but that role got to him, and he got prideful. He got arrogant. He got foolish and said, I'm going to be above you. I'm going to be like you. I'm going to take over you. And God said, you're out. You can't reign here anymore. And that, my friends, that same spirit of disobedience that Satan has can infect a Christian and can affect a Christian's attitude towards God. I know that I'm just a little peon here, down here with God. I'm nobody. I'm not important, really. In the grand scheme of all God's plans, I'm very little importance. The only reason he puts up with me is because I've got the gift of gab. He's given me that gift of gab, and I can talk to people about him. If it wasn't for that, I doubt I'd even be here right now, folks. God spared me a couple times. He spared my life 3.5 years ago. 3 years ago. He spared my life. When I shouldn't be here by my own stupidity, because of my depression, my anxiety got the best of me, and I tried to get out of here. God said, no, boy, I ain't done with you yet. He didn't talk like that. I don't think God talks like a redneck. But he said, I'm not through with you yet, Aaron. You got more work to do. And he pulled me up out of that miry clay because I got really humble to God at that point. I was low. I was hurt. I was miserable. But God knew my heart. And he got me out of the situation I was in. But it didn't pass easy. No. Didn't pass easy at all. There's an old saying, this too shall pass when you're going through a trial and tribulation. This too shall pass. Folks, it may pass like a kidney stone. And they hurt. I know, I've had a lot of them. Those trials and tribulations may pass like a kidney stone, but they'll pass. If you maintain a broken, contrite heart and a meekness toward God, he will carry you through. He's living inside of you. He is a great, big, giant God inside of you. He just wants you to be meek with him. Realize he is at all the best interest. That this is all about him now. And what he wants to do with you and I. That's meekness, my friends. We are here. He's way up here. I've dealt in the ministry with a lot of arrogant so-called preachers that did not have an ounce of meekness when it came to God. And I've met some preachers that seem like they're really arrogant, but when it came to their relationship with God, they were way down here too. Because they had a meekness before God. They would get up every morning and pray and beg God, humbly beg God for wisdom and guidance. That's what God wants for us. That's what God wants for you. That's what he wants for me. He wants that meekness before him. Look up the word meekness in the King James Bible. Just study it out. That's what God wants for us. I hope you all have a good day. God bless you, and talk to you tomorrow.